This is Kuhn Cassis for IFLTV. Delighted to be joined by the Australian Queen, Skye
All
Nicolson. All right, mate?
right, mate. How's it going?
It's going all right, mate. Uh, it's been a while.
It has been a while. I've been head down, focused. I can't actually believe it's almost fight week again.
So, for people that don't know, you should know. Obviously, you will be fighting a week tomorrow in Manchester on the undercard of Jack Catterall and Harlem Eubank. So, this is the comeback, the start of
Yeah,
the comeback, yeah?
yeah. This is the comeback. I didn't think I would be at this point, but we're here. Um, yeah, it's been a bit of a journey, bit of a ride, but I'm very excited for the comeback.
Having suffered your first loss as a pro fighter, is it out of your system now or not yet?
I think it will be after next weekend. Um, but I feel like I've dealt with it. Um, I've sat with it. I've grown from it. I've learned from it. So I feel in a good place about it now. Um, but I think it'll be out of my system hopefully after next week. Back to winning ways.
It's a bit of a weird situation, and people need to realise in women's boxing that as quick as you can get elevated because of the lack of depth in pool of fighters,
Mm.
also when you're fighting at that level, you can drop down at any given point, and that's how women's boxing is, unfortunately.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like although we can be fast tracked and you can be fighting for world titles very early on in your career. So like obviously it was my 10th fight when I won the world title. Like in terms of men's boxing, like you're still a novice, you're still learning, you're still kind of like dipping your toes in the water, fighting journeymen and stuff like that. So um, yeah, I feel like you get there a lot quicker, but you also have to learn a lot quicker on the job. I
Yeah.
was only pro for a couple of years fighting for a world title. So um, yeah, obviously, yeah, you can get there quick, but it also drops off pretty quick as well when things don't go your way. So the rebuild starts next week. Well, it started 8 weeks ago when I started camp, but um, yeah, the journey to maybe two-time world champion starts next week.
Two time.
hmm
Absolutely. What's the process now? Obviously, you're out next week. 8 rounds, I'm assuming you're doing next week. What's the process to you want to get back to where you was ASAP? So, what is that process in the next kind of 6 to 8 months for you, Sky?
So for me, I just want to be really active. I've sat with the team. We've kind of highlighted what works for me, what doesn't work for me. Inactivity doesn't work for me. I want to be out as often as possible. Um, the team have discussed what that would look like, smaller fights, um, earlier on cards, smaller cards, whatever it is. I just want to get out. I want to be active. I want to be fighting regularly. Um, and then build myself back up to being in position to be contending for world titles. But for right now, it's just focusing on getting out, getting active again, 8 rounders, whatever, small title fights, whatever, and getting back to being in a position to fight for a world title at super bantamweight potentially.
I don't want to dwell too much on your last fight because you're moving forward, but what did you
hmm
learn, not just kind of from the fight, but more so the aftermath of your loss? What did you learn more so about
The whole experience.
the whole experience, boxing, kind of just people's perception of
hmm
where you was, and then don't get me wrong, you've had a little setback, you'll get back up, but just what did you learn from the whole kind of process?
It kind of forced me to look within, look what went wrong, look at what was missing from my preparation, what I could have been better at. And it's kind of forced me to look at the things that I probably kind of knew were distractions or issues in the past, but because I was winning, I didn't bother doing anything about them. So it's kind of just forced me to level up and be a better version of myself. And I think that's definitely going to show. I feel like um, I took full responsibility for what happened on March 22nd. I think it's quite easy for a lot of fighters to point the finger and blame their training team or blame other outside things. I think a lot of the issues and what happened did come from within, and that's something that I've been working on, and that's something that I had to sit with and learn from as well. So yeah, I'm excited. I feel like what's happened. I wasn't the best version of myself on March 22nd. I lost a split decision to a very good fighter, who I believe I 100% beat, probably 9 times out of 10. And unfortunately, it was not my day, and that's fine. I'm not making excuses at all, because people love to jump on here and say that that's what's happening. That's not what's happening. I wasn't the best version of myself. If the chance arises for me to have that rematch, would 100% take it with open arms. But focusing on what's in my control right now, focusing on myself, my career, moving forward, and being the best possible version I can be on fight nights.
Yeah, look, I think you answered that very well in terms of when you do suffer a loss, it's easy for people to kind of blame this, that, and the other. But also, as a counter to that, you're entitled to your opinion about why in your head that things didn't work out how
Mm-hmm.
they did. So I think you've kind of answered that exactly. You're not making excuses. You're saying that from your own perspective, this is what or XYZ didn't happen, or I could have done better, etc. But that's it. But you're not moaning or kind of
No.
making like an outrage about that. It was a split decision lost for yourself, but yeah,
Yeah,
it's about moving forward.
exactly. And I feel like it did take a little bit to come to that, and be okay with that. And I definitely am now, and I'm just excited now for what's to come. The journey continues, the show goes on, all of that stuff.
Is has there been talks? Obviously, we know you got this fight coming up in Manchester next week, but the Brown rematch, is there talks potentially of that happening anytime soon, or not really?
Not really. So, after the fight, yes, definitely. It was like, well, there'll definitely be a rematch. We'll do it before the end of the year. She can go and have a voluntary defense. I can go and sort myself out, and we'll fight again. I don't really know where that changed. I don't know what happened, but something or someone upset Tiara to the point that she was coming out in all her interviews saying, I'm not getting a rematch. I'm spoilt. I need to learn to be told no. Um,
Okay.
and that if I don't have another belt, then there's no reason for her to be fighting me. Um, blah, blah, blah. But basically, she blocked me on social media, blocked my coach, blocked my team. So something upset her. I don't know what it was. I feel like something obviously got to her and bothered her. The boxing world can do that to people. I think she might have had a vision or an idea of what it was going to be like to win the world title and be world champion, and maybe it didn't quite live up to her expectations. I don't know. But she's unhappy about something. I'm focusing on me. I'm focusing on my career. I want that fight. And I know it'll be there eventually. And if it's not, it's not. Like, I'm not gonna sit around and mope because Tiara Brown won't give me a rematch, because I don't need her. There's plenty of other ways I can go with my career, and that's what we're doing now.
I block trolls on Instagram, and I'm sure you in the past probably have done the same thing, right?
I do, yes.
But when fighters block each other, I think it's a bit mad. Like, why are you blocking each other? Like, you can potentially earn money together, really. Like, if a troll could earn me money, I wouldn't block them.
I honestly, I don't get it. I felt like we were cool after the fight. I have been nothing but respectful to her, kind to her. Um, we shared kind words after the fight. I don't know what happened the following few weeks, but something upset her. And I wasn't a part of whatever conversation that was. I don't know what happened, but she wasn't happy, basically. Yeah.
All right. Well, it is what it
I
is.
mean, she stalked me online for years before I even met the girl, and now I'm blocked. So what can you do?
What can you do? How many accounts do you think you've blocked on your Instagram? Do you know you can find that out, don't you?
I couldn't go and look at my block list, but I would say a
What do you
couple
reckon?
of hundred.
How many?
A couple of hundred.
I reckon there's got to be more. You've got like how many followers you got? 300 something.
Um, yeah, I think like 407,000.
Or
But
400,000. You've definitely blocked more than 100.
I might have, but I didn't used to block them. I used to just delete their comments and like ignore it. And as of recently now, as soon as I see a negative comment, they just get blocked. It's been a more recent thing.
I'm looking at mine. Do you know? Guess how many I've got? Gone. And bearing in mind, I've been on social media for longer than you. I've obviously got less followers than you.
How many followers do you have?
160. So how many people do you think? And bearing in mind, I get a lot of stick from other people's because they think,
Yeah.
oh, you whatever,
It's
Fury
it's always something.
or whatever. You know what I mean, I get all the stick from the fighters because I get on with the fighters, but
Yeah.
or you're Team Nicholson or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For the reference, I am Team Nicholson. But
Duh.
how many do you think I've blocked?
I reckon you've blocked
It-
1,500.
It's not even that bad. 469.
See, I thought it would be more.
It's not that
I
bad.
thought more people would be nasty to you.
I don't know. That's a backhanded compliment if I've ever heard one.
Yeah.
And the last person I've blocked, I'm going to call him out here, was Andy YJ042. But I don't know what they did, but that's Andy. Andy, send me a message and tell me why you're blocked.
He can't block. He can't message you if you've blocked him.
Actually, right. Well, if Andy's really
Andy, send me a message and tell me why Coogan
send
blocked
Andy, if
you.
you're watching this, Andy YJ042, message Skye and then Skye will message me and just explain why. If you're bothered, he might not be bothered. So
Yeah.
great promo for Andy YJ042. All right, well, listen, we'll catch up next week.
Yeah.
Get the job done, and then
Thank you.
get your route back to getting your world title back.
2 time.
2 time. Have you got anything else you'd like to add?
No, I think that's everything. That was good.
Okay.
I'll see you
Skye,
next week.
Skye Nicholson, thank you very much, and we'll catch up again very, very soon.
Thank you. Bye.